Hi, I'm Olivia. I'm the Witch of Wonderlust here on YouTube and on Instagram, and today we're talking about money magic. More specifically, we're talking about the money bowl video that I made a few years ago. It's still one of my favorite spells and still one that I use to this day. Now, money magic has a lot of stigma behind it, I think. And so even if you don't work a money bowl or that's not your jam and you like things like money packets or money sachets or rituals or jars or whatever, hopefully you can take something away from this video, even if it's just a perspective change, I don't know, help you out in your financial situation. This is going to be kind of a crash course more in money magic and less the bowl, but it will be more in depth about how to work the bowl. So you can take these and apply these to different spells and different rituals and workings that work better for you or that you prefer. So let's just get right into it. Money magic itself, like I said, has a stigma to it. And I think because we are kind of trained to think that money means greed, and I disagree with that. I think that greed means greed. You can be greedy with money, you can be greedy with time, you can be greedy with love. Money is something that is a huge staple in all of our lives. It is something that is a necessity in order to live comfortably. And while a lot of people say money doesn't buy happiness, well, no, but it does buy stability, it does buy food, it does buy comfort. So while it doesn't buy happiness, it can buy things that can in turn make you feel more comfortable in your life and then in turn hopefully make you a little happier. That's a philosophy that you can discuss in the comments. Keep it keep it respectful, please. However, let's just dive into this. Now, the money bowl is something that I've been working for, oh my gosh, 5-6 years now, and I love it. It's one of my favorite spells because it's easy, it's simple. I also adore altars. If you don't know, that's one of my favorite things to do is make altars. I have 5 altars within the vicinity of me right now. The money bowl is kind of an altar in its sense, right? Firstly, before you even make your money bowl or whatever money working you're doing, you really want to think about why you want this money. And it really just depends on your working. And you'll hear me say that a lot. It really depends on your working because it does. Every situation is so different. Every person and the situation and their life experience are very different. So this is going to have to depend on you and where you're coming from and what you want your money bowl to come from and what kind of opportunities you have at that moment, right? So I'm just going to use my money bowl as an example. I want you to be creative. I want you to see how you can take those things and apply them to your working, because I could go through all of the different options, but this would probably be like a 4-hour video. So we're not gonna do that. Okay, so using my money bowl as an example, when I first started, I just wanted stability. I just wanted to be able to pay my bills and not worry about it. And on top of that, have just a little bit of extra money so that I could buy myself a new book every month, or go get coffee with some of my friends every so often. Go see a movie with them pre-COVID. Now, after that started coming in and I started seeing that and I started feeling a little more comfortable within my finances, I was like, I'm gonna go big or go home. I wrote down my dream life. I wrote down, if money wasn't a thing, right? I wrote down the things that I wanted. And I think I have one of my older petitions that I wrote down forever ago still in my money bowl. So I'm gonna open it and read it to you. Oh boy. Okay, I have a few actually. You can see that I like tied it up with gold washi tape. And then I have these 2 other ones, this tiny little one and this bigger one. So I'm gonna open them. Some of them I might not read to you because I don't know what's in them. And they might be really personal, which usually magic is. So we're gonna open the first one. This one was just this is really cute. Oh. Okay, so let me read this fully through. My money always allows me to live comfortably and freely. I make enough money to spoil the ones that I love. I am intentional and mindful with my finances. That was one of my first ones. There's this one, and this one was from 2019. And I know that because of what I wrote. And it says, my finances flow abundantly from my creative business. I am financially stable and free with my creative business. And I can take my mom to Ireland next year because of my creative business. And if there wasn't, you know, the whole worldwide thing happening, we made it happen. We bought tickets and I bought tickets for my mom. I was able to treat her. Well, I was going to treat her to a trip to Ireland. And this was before we found out we were Scottish. She took a DNA test and I took a DNA test, and it turns out she's Scottish and not Irish. So there's that. But still, it would have been really wonderful to just go on a trip with just my mom and go and take her somewhere international for the first time. Like, I love doing that. And I basically made it happen. I was able to purchase the tickets, but then, you know, the world kind of shut down and we just had to plan that for some other time, but that it happened. I'm gonna keep this one in there because I like that one. I had a whole petition page of what I wanted, like my money to bring me. My money allows me to travel freely and comfortably. Freely and comfortably is a good one, because you can travel and not be comfortable because of finances. I've been there. Now, it wasn't a bad trip, it just was a very challenging one, but it wasn't bad. My money allows me to purchase good gear for my job. My money allows me to pay mentors or pay for meaningful knowledge. I was very specific about what I wanted my money to do for me. It's okay to start small. If you just want to say, my current goal is to buy a huge flat screen so that I can have movie nights with my friends all the time and, you know, have big gatherings and get to spend time with people. So maybe it's the flat screen, but you can see that trickle effect, right? It's not just the X amount of money that the flat screen costs, but it's the flat screen that allows you to then bring all of your friends over, because maybe all of your friends are cinephiles just like you, and your love language is time spent. I don't know, you know, like, you need to really see how things take cause and effect, and that's a really big thing about money magic, in my opinion. That's my TED Talk. That's my short little talk on money magic. Now, how do we do it, right? Thanks, Olivia, for all that information, that whole ass TED Talk. Now, what do I do? The big thing is, you can watch this video, the money bowl that I put together, my money bowl. You can see, I kind of talk you through it. I've changed it just a little bit, but again, depending on your situation, you're just gonna change it. And that's one of my favorite things about this spell, is there really is no set way. There is no, only do this, only do that, you can only use this, you can only say that, whatever. All of my spells are very much like that. They're never set in stone like that. And if they are, it's a very, very, very specific spell. However, this money bowl, it's a bowl. It's open on top. It's meant to keep changing. You are meant to be taking things out and putting things in. It's not hoarding. You're not trying to collect money and keep it and never spend it. You are trying to get that flow. It's supposed to be spacious and free and flowing. And you're gonna hear me use that word over and over and over till it's in your head forever. You want it to be a flow. You want things to come out and things to come in. The only thing is of that balance of how much is coming in and how much is going out, right? So I walk you through how to do that up here. Now we're going to talk about working the money bowl. Okay, so here's my money altar. Let me walk you through a couple of things that are on here. So clearly my money bowl itself, right? I put a bunch of like cash and stuff from my birthday a few months ago in here just to soak it all up, all that good energy, right? And then I have these $2 bills that I got when I was serving, and I don't know, like, they're just strange. I like $2 bills. I think they're kind of interesting. So I just kind of kept them in here just for more aesthetic, but also it's just good to have things that represent money or actual money in here. I've got this King of Wands tarot card. King of Wands to me is action. It's a lot of, it's making things happen. And that's kind of what I like my life to be about, is making things happen, is, you know, and movement and passion. And so that's a big thing that I want in the energy of my money. I still have this little charm bag. I actually, I'm pretty sure this charm bag is from a online class that Wild Woman Witchcraft Temperance and I did a few years ago, I believe. Then I've got this candle, and it's got, I mean, it's melted down, but it's got my currency symbol drawn on here, as well as the Jupiter symbol on the other side. Jupiter is the most common money planet to work with, so you'll see that a lot in money workings. And Jupiter also rules Thursday, which is why I like to do my money workings on Thursdays. But we'll talk about days in a second, because you can do money magic on any day, but for different reasons. Then I've got this gorgeous oil. This oil is by the Honey Jar. I will link that down below. And it's called Goal Digger. Not Gold Digger, Goal Digger. So it's all about reaching goals and having that motivation and, you know, just kind of like a boss bitch vibe. And so I have that on my altar because a lot of this has to do with my passion and my business and things of that sort. Then I've got these little trinkets. I have a key, and it's dressed with, I have a couple keys actually. I have a key here and I have some keys in the bowl. Both of those keys are dressed with road opening oil, and road opening oil will open roads for you. It's like a door opening. It's like opportunities. For me, it would open partnerships or sponsorships or opportunities to go travel. And I have these shells. They're really good for abundance and prosperity. A little piece of green sea glass, and then a tiny little turtle that my mom gave me years ago when I was really, really young. Just kind of gives me like a little bit of like lucky magic vibes, but also turtles are slow and steady. It's not give me the money, give me the money, give me the money, right? It's a slow, steady, foundational build. That's up here, and then I've got this platter from like the dollar store or like a thrift store or something. I love these things. So you can see that the scheme, right, is gold and silver and green. You can use any color that you wish, but these are the ones that I find are working the best. Also, I understand that green money is not all over the world, but green is also things that grow, right? It's earth-based, it's abundance-based. So it's not just because it's US money, it's also because growth. This one is a little interesting. He is, this tiki had gone to Hawaii. This is not something that I purchased or got anywhere. I actually, like, nobody knows where he came from. I found him in our pantry, and I don't know why. Like, I asked my mom, I asked my little brother, I asked my dad. Nobody knows where he came from, so we just have him, and he is God of Winter. Keep this winter tiki in your possession. It'll bring you success in all you do in your life. And I thought that that was kind of perfect for this altar. He was also broken when I found him, so I kind of glued him back together. I don't know where he came from or why, but I think that he fits well and he seems happy here. So I give him little offerings every now and then as a thanks for helping me out and giving me a little bit of boost in that. Now, you can also see I have two other oils. This one you'll see in the first video that I ever made with the money bowl. And this one is called Divine Light. Then I have one from Warrior Witch Nike that they actually gave me when I visited them. Coffee. Coffee is great if you do want quickness. Coffee is good for abundance and is good for money, but it's also speed. So I use coffee if I'm kind of like, oh man, I gotta go. I have some birthdays coming up. I have the showcase coming up, and I also have that trip to LA coming up right now for my speech for the witching hour. So I kind of want just a little bit of extra money so that I can make sure that just in case something goes wrong, or if I have to pay for a separate flight, or if, you know, whatever happens, I just want to make sure that I've got just a little bit extra. So I'm giving some coffee here to the altar, and I'm hoping that just a little bit more makes its way to me this month. But that's my reasoning. Then I have some goldenrod that grows here in Colorado. While Annie, the Green Witch, was visiting Colorado, she was so sweet and gathered a bunch. She actually gave me this, and she has an oil. I might be using that as well. And then lastly, I've got this incense like thing going on, and I can use this as like an incense stand, obviously, but also this was an old candle that I used for my money working, and then once it burnt down, I've been putting just like I've been putting like rice and some of the oils, and you can see the cinnamon in there. And rice is really good for abundance. It's so good for money magic. So if you consume a lot of rice or you like rice, then definitely give it a try. Throw some rice in there, and then I will actually just use a stick of incense. So for example, let me do that right now. And I let that burn. And as it burns, it'll just drop straight down in here, and it will just kind of add to that. So you can stir it up too if you want. I don't know. It's really oily now at this point. I've used it so often, but so that is kind of how I usually work the money altar. But you also have to keep in mind as you're working it, you're thinking about what it's bringing to you. So again, everything that I spoke about in the very beginning, you want to think about that coming to you. You want to, and not just it coming to you, you want to think about if it's already done. If you already had that money, how would that feel? Really like think about how that would feel of you already being able to do the thing that you wanted to do, to buy the thing you wanted to buy, to pay off the things you wanted to pay off. How would that feel if it was already paid off? If you already bought the ticket, if you already had that flat screen, you know, how would that feel? Like really, really put that as if it was already done into it. How would that feel? So keep that in mind. It's super simple. You know, you can really put so much into this money altar. Okay, let me walk you through a couple of my oils that I love. I adore oils. If you don't already know, I use them all the time. Let me share a few more because I already shared the 3 that sit on my altar. I have, let's see, 5 more oils that I personally like to use a lot, and I'll tell you why. So the first one, like I mentioned prior, the Pathway Keys is a really, really good one because it opens up all those opportunities for you in order to gain more finances or get more money. Abundance and prosperity is not always cash. It's not always cash. I mean, I have an abundance of witchy items now because I started working with the Witches box years ago, and now we're just friends. They don't really pay me to make videos anymore, but they still send me those giant boxes and those books all the time. I have an abundance of books. I have an abundance of witchy items, which are 2 things that are very big in my life. And I love knowledge. I love my craft. So, you know, that's prosperity for me. That is an abundance for me. So it opens those pathways, right? Especially if you dress a key with it. Let me tell you, I love my keys too. I mean, I don't think anybody knows, but I collect skeleton keys. I have a lot of them. The rest of these are all from Conjured Cardia. She makes really wonderful oils. They smell delicious and they look really pretty and they work really well. So this one is Diva Drip. I absolutely adore this one. Diva Drip is just luxurious. If I want something luxurious, right? Like, because everybody deserves nice things. You deserve nice things, especially being that, I mean, I still love, like, don't get me wrong, I still love my thrift stores. I still love those things, but quality is also a good thing. Rather than quantity. Quality is a good thing. And so Diva Drip is something that I use when I want something luxurious. So one of the things that came from this one was my collaboration with Punk Rave Store. They have these gorgeous, like Victorian Gothic just clothing. And they sent me a few things for free. And I think they sent me like upwards of $300 or $400 worth of items, which was ridiculous. I love it. I wear them all the time, and especially in October, you'll see that I have this like long Victorian like vampire. I love them so much. But luxurious things from that one. Then I have the Rich Bitch. This one also smells really good. The Rich Bitch oil, it's hashtag girl boss oil for sure, because this is like CEO. Like, I am the CEO, I am the business owner, I am the manager. You know, I am the one that has built this from the ground up. This is that vibe that you can get from this Rich Bitch oil. And it just like gives me like Devil Wears Prada. I don't know how else to explain it. That's just like the vibe of like, I know what I'm doing. And I do it well, and I make money off of it, and I make good money off of it. And then I spend the money on myself because I deserve it. Like, that is all the energy that's in this oil, and I love it. So the 2 other ones are not money oils, but I use them as money oils, and I'll explain. Blockbuster. This one's a great oil to have on hand anyway, or some kind of blockbuster. Blockbusting is kind of getting rid of that obstacle in your way. So if you have some kind of thing that maybe is blocking you from gaining those finances that you want to gain, blockbusting these things are super helpful. Now, I don't do this often. I mean, I do it enough, but I don't do it very often. It's not a constant working. It is something of like, I feel stagnant and I need to block bust something. I'll usually actually do a full ritual or like some kind of spell. And most of the time I'll do like a candle, like a glass candle or something that I can read the wax so that I can see what is in my way. It's always best to do a reading to figure out what you're block busting, because it's best to go at it at the source rather than just trying to like throw that energy out there aimlessly. So block busting, it's a little bit more of like a side quest rather than actual money bowl, but it does help a lot in order to get that out of the way so that you can actually work your money bowl. Now the last one is the Follow Me oil. This one is used a lot in love. But it's an attraction. This one I wouldn't use solo. I would use Follow Me oil and maybe the money oil that Nike gave me. Follow Me money. If you are an Etsy seller or you're a small business, maybe put on some money and Follow Me oil, because you want that money to follow you wherever you're going. Or maybe you are trying to network and you're going to some event where you know that there's going to be a lot of network opportunities. I would do pathway keys and the Follow Me oil on a key and I would wear it. So, things like that. Really figure out how you can, make those things versatile. Your homework, if you are doing a money bowl, is to sit down and write down all of the things that you want your money to bring you. What does it feel like if you already had it? My money allows me to travel easily and comfortably. My money allows me to live comfortably and freely. My money allows me to spoil the people that I love and feed them well and feed myself well. Money and abundance and prosperity flows to me abundantly and easily. These are all things that you can write down, but I really want you to be specific on what you want. My money allows me to buy the house of my dreams. Just think about it. And don't think like, oh, never gonna happen. Okay, if it's never gonna happen, write it down anyway. What's the harm? So that's where I'm going with. Pick a day of the week to work your money bowl. 2 minutes, 5 minutes, even if it's just coming around and like circling around some of those coins or throwing a coin in there every so often. You don't have to make it a whole thing every single week, but just give it a little bit of attention once a week. Days of the week. I personally choose Thursday just because it is Jupiter's day, and Jupiter is known for finances and has a lot of money magic energy. Monday is a good general day. You can kind of do any kind of workings on Monday because it's the moon's day. I don't personally feel strongly about Monday. It's more of just like I should probably do something and put that in there, put a coin in there or something. That's fine. Tuesdays are interesting, and I worked with Tuesdays for a little bit because Shireen from Arabian Conjure suggested that I try it. Now Tuesday is Mars Day. It's all about passion, is very intense, and man, that money came fast, let me tell you, but it was driven. And when I was working my money bowl on those days, that's the energy I was putting into it. It was, okay, I want my money to come from things that make me passionate. And I started working so many pool parties, like bachelorette parties all over the place, and I made good money, and it came really quickly because I started getting a bunch of parties that weekend, or like those upcoming weekends, and in the middle of the week and in the mornings and whatever. And so I started doing all those things, and it was all things that I was passionate about. I love teaching pole. I love teaching new people too. It's like my favorite. On Tuesdays, I was getting a lot of those new parties because it was passionate and it was quick. Wednesdays are all about communication. So maybe you are working your money bowl because you are asking for a raise at your job soon. That is something that I would start working on Wednesdays. Travel, so Wednesdays are great, especially when I was traveling a lot. I worked it a lot on Wednesdays. And I think in my money bowl video, I actually was working on Wednesdays. I'm pretty sure I was saying that I was working on Wednesdays because I was traveling a lot at that time, but it's all about communication. It's about travel. It's the element of air, right? It's Mercury's day. Thursday, we talked about it, Jupiter, very good for stability. So if you're looking at a big picture, a house, or saving up for a wedding, things, big things, paying off student loans, pay your bills, Jupiter, Thursday, really good. Friday, the day of love. I would work Friday. Why I would want the money? Like, oh, maybe I'm saving up for that wedding, or go to that road trip to go see the people that I love. A friend that is so dear to my heart, and I love them so much, and I want to throw a really big party for them and give them a $300 bar tab. That sounds like alcohol poisoning, just kidding. But you know what I'm saying is you really want to know why you want that money and work it on that day. Okay, Saturday is more about binding and boundaries. And so a lot of people would say never work on Saturday. I disagree. And that's okay if you do. disagree with me, that's okay. But I disagree with that because a lot of us can have spending issues. I have been there where I'm like, I shouldn't be spending this money. Wow, I really shouldn't be spending this money, but then I do. And I've gotten so much better at that when I work on Saturdays. If I start working on Saturdays with my money bowl, it's the day of Saturn. I am being more intentional about my money. I'm being more mindful about my money, and I'm putting those boundaries with myself and my finances. So if you are needing that, that's a really good way. And that's a really good day to work your money bowl. Sundays are the day of the sun. It's clarity, it's warmth, it's growth, and it's expansion. It's taking up space. So if you think of money in that aspect, I would say more of like a clarity thing. I don't think I've really worked on Sundays with my money bowls. I couldn't really give you an example. So maybe like you're just going into the house market or something. Stock markets, I guess, you know, you want clarity on where your money would go and grow the best. That would be more of like an investment day, I think. If you're trying to invest in something, I would work on Sundays. The last thing that I'm going to leave you with is savings. I think savings is important. I am a strong believer of prepare for the worst, but hope for the best. Making sure you have a little bit of savings going into your savings. And that's a tough thing to do, especially nowadays. I get it. Saving is an offering to yourself. You're giving an offering to your future self, whether that is cushion money just in case something happens, or you're saving for that one thing that you have been saving for forever. It's an offering to yourself. And while I know savings is a really difficult thing to do, keep that in mind. It's an offering to yourself. But that is all for this video. I really hope that you enjoyed, and I hope that you took away something, whether that's a new perspective or maybe an idea, or I gave you something to work with. But if you want to share your money bowl, I also follow the hashtag Wonderlust Coven on Instagram. If you use that, I'll see it most of the time. I can see it in my feed, and you can show me that you've made a money bowl. And it's really cool to see all the different variations that you all come up with, because sometimes some of y'all come up with some really cool ideas that I didn't think about. So I love learning from you all as well. But I'm gonna leave you with that. As always, thank you so much for watching. Best of luck, be kind to each other, and may your gods treat you as you've treated others. Bye.